is Alicia Munson, Opportunity Partners Community Outreach and Advocacy Manager, and I'm happy to bring to you today the November 2016 edition of the Advocates Broadcast. Joining me today is my very special guest, a friend and colleague, Sarah Grafstrom from ARM. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Alicia.
Sarah is ARM's Director of Advocacy and Community Relations. So Sarah, tell everybody what ARM is and what your role is.
Sure. So ARM is a trade association of disability service providers that provide community-based services to individuals with intellectual, physical, and developmental disabilities. So as a trade association, we really rely on our members' involvement in ARM to be successful. We partner with our members for trainings, legislative advocacy, committee work, all those things that make us a successful organization. And within ARM, I serve as the Director of Advocacy and Community Relations, which means I get to work with our members on grassroots advocacy and getting folks involved in legislative advocacy, taking an active role in talking to legislators and communicating issues that are important to them.
Yeah. As Sarah mentioned, ARM is a trade association at the state level, but there are also trade associations at the national level, right, Sarah?
Correct. ANCHOR is our national trade association that ARM is a member of, as well as Opportunity Partners, and ANCHOR stands for the American Network of Community Options and Resources.
And Sarah and I just had a great opportunity to attend ANCHOR's annual Leadership Summit in Washington, D.C., which brings together service providers from throughout the country, as well as federal-level disability policy experts to share information and resources about the most critical issues facing our community today. So Sarah, what did you feel like were a few of the key takeaways from the summit?
You know, Alicia, there was a lot of great sessions and a lot of great information shared. Topics ranged all the way from Medicaid equal access to housing options to the Olmstead decision. But there was a couple key sessions that ARM will be further educating our members on. One being the Home and Community-Based Service Transition Rule, which the Department of Human Services in Minnesota has a stakeholder group that's focusing on, that ARM's Chief Operating Officer Bart Turner sits on. And the other is the Department of Labor overtime rule that was just proposed this summer. Right now, currently, hourly workers are paid overtime after their salary meets a certain threshold. And the Department of Labor overtime rule is proposing to increase that level. So ANCHOR, our National Trade Association, has submitted comments to the Department of Labor talking about the impact that that would have specifically on our sector of work. Some of those comments said that, one, that threshold level that they are proposing is too high, and the second being that if that threshold level goes forward, we need to be able to have a phase-in option for our members. We can't be expected to adjust our budget so drastically in such a short amount of time.
Absolutely. So for more information about the HCBS transition rule, visit opportunities.org/advocate in the Disability Policy Resources section. And for more information about the DOL overtime rule, visit www.anchor.org. So in addition to learning a lot of new and important information, another benefit of attending the summit is having an opportunity to meet with members of Minnesota's congressional delegation. So Sarah and I met with several of the lead healthcare legislative assistants for members of Congress that represent districts where OP provides services. And one of the things that we talked about was the Transition to Independence Act, or Senate File 1604. This was recently proposed and is still gaining momentum, and it would be a revolutionary piece of legislation that would give providers of disability services increases in their funding if they provide really meaningful and innovative opportunities for employment in the community. And we wanted the legislative assistants to know about that bill and make sure that their members are supporting it. We also want members of the House to develop a companion bill so that it can move forward in both bodies. So Sarah, having attended those lobbying meetings with me, what did you think were some of the benefits and what were some of the challenges that we faced?
You know, Alicia, this is something that we say all the time in grassroots organizing, is the main benefit of meeting with your congressperson or even their staff is building relationships. Those relationships are critical when legislators are kind of looking at the big picture. They need to have that relationship back home with their constituents in their district. But some of the challenges also are, these are high-level, complex issues that are really hard to understand, not only for the folks that work in the industry, but also for their legislators. And so it's hard to maybe make a connection with your legislator on these high-level issues. That's what the great thing about grassroots advocacy is. You don't need to be an expert on those issues. You just need to tell your story. So building that relationship and talking to your legislator about your personal story and how services affect you is the most important thing.
Absolutely. And Opportunity Partners is so fortunate to have experts like Sarah, everyone at ARM, and the folks at Anchor to represent our issues at the federal level on an ongoing basis. So that wraps up the November edition of the Advocates broadcast. I want to thank Sarah Grafstrom again for joining me, and we'll see you all soon.
Thanks, Alicia.